Hi there. In this lecture we see Mikhail Tal against Zdravko Milev in 1958, the 13th Olympiad qualifier Group 1. So c4 for Mikhail Tal, the English opening. We have a symmetrical English for the moment, but it transposes into actually a semi-Tarrasch opening after d5 here. We're in Queen's Gambit declined semi-Tarrasch territory. We see bishop c4, knight b6, bishop b5. Now here, black plays a slow move, a6. Now slow moves, as we know from the times of Paul Morphy, can be punished. If you're not developing pieces and castling early, it can be punishable. So the usual move is c takes d4. For example, this situation, white gets the isolated queen's pawn, but overall white is slightly better. It does have perks, the isolated queen's pawn, of course. But a6 is a slow move, and Tal actually gives up the light square bishop, doubling the pawns, and just castles. So we have bishop b7, which looks as though it's kind of miserable right now, the bishop, but could it be dangerous later on this diagonal? Well, Tal actually plays knight e4. We see knight d7, and now queen c2 is trying to put a lock and key on that bishop. If he can get a bind on the c5 square, then that bishop's in prison, basically. We see queen b6, and now a very, very interesting move in this position, which causes black a number of issues. It's knight e5. There are a number of interesting ideas behind this. We see c takes d4. If knight takes e5, d takes e5 marks out the d6 square, and this situation with knight d6 check is fairly pleasant for white. For example, here the d6 pawn is not that bad and can be supported. Overall, white's better, and of course black's pawns are pretty miserable here. So okay, black actually plays c takes d4 but loses castling rights. Knight takes d7, the king is having to capture, so black's lost castling rights. This is not a good sign for an opening. E takes d4, we have king e8, bishop e3, so bear in mind black can no longer castle and is threatened with d5, it seems. So the queen gets out of the way, but guess what Tal plays in this position for 100 points if I give you 5 seconds to pause the video. Okay. d5, yeah, he just wants to open up things. If the king's really lost castling rights as well, it's worthwhile opening up things. We see e takes d5. If bishop e7 here, then d6. And this situation, knight takes d6 and bishop c5. This is very, very pleasant for white. So we see e takes d5, but now a brilliant kind of move. For 100 points, what would you play here? Yeah. Rook fe1, believe it or not, just not even moving the knight. King d8 is played. If d takes e4, then queen takes e4 is super dangerous. For example, here, bishop c5. So remember, black cannot castle. That would have been a good move, perhaps. If king f8, this is just devastating, actually. This situation is hopeless for black. For example, bishop c8, and then we just checkmate with rook e1, discovered check, and then rook e8 checkmate. And if bishop e7, instead of taking, bishop c5 is strong, and if d takes, yeah, we're in the same scenario, same horrible scenario. It's the lost scenario, this scenario here, with that rook e1 and rook takes b7. So yeah, it's a very interesting situation, more interesting for white than for black. So we see king d8, and now, yeah, there's a very, very nice move here, which has a major threat to it. So it's a kind of tempo gaining move, but it's not just gaining a tempo, it's adding pressure to black's pieces. Can you spot what the move is for 50 points? White to play here. Okay. Queen b3, it carries a very, very big threat, killer common square, bishop b6. So black reacts with c5, but it's got a slight snag, c5. Again, what is the punishment? And there is now punishment now for this. What is the punishment? Okay, 50 points again. Okay, knight takes c5. Yeah, just deflecting the queen, trying to deflect the queen away from b7 after bishop takes c5. So we're threatening bishop b6 again. And here, actually, black was generous enough to resign. Perhaps black felt it was totally hopeless. For example, rook c8, there is a menacing move here, which is rook ac1, trying to deflect the queen from e7. So if queen takes c1, queen e7 check and mate. But with rook c7, yeah, white has still a crushing position off the check and queen e5. So again, queen takes, we play queen e7, mate. Otherwise, it's getting pretty precarious now. So this situation is just going to end up losing a rook. It's pretty precarious after this, in this situation, where the queen is kind of skewered to the c8 rook, so the queen can't move. Yeah, that'll be hopeless. So it is completely lost, it seems, with best play in that final position. So let's go to that final position. So the end of the game, queen takes b7. So a fascinating game, showing how one slow move, a6, and all of a sudden Tal can really open up things, a la Paul Morphy, basically, making the position really open and exposed, opening up the lines, and not ruling out any seemingly outrageous moves to punish black, anything to punish black after that. It's much more justified. I mean, this rook is just not participating in the game. Both rooks are kind of asleep. So, yeah, it's a very fine attacking game, opening up things. Hope you enjoyed that one. Thanks so much. Hi there. Thanks for getting to the end of the YouTube video. If you would like to see other Mikhail Tal games, I actually have an amazing course for Mikhail Tal, which is currently at 4.9 with over 400 students. You can check this out from the Kingscrusher TV page. So Chess Strategy and Tactics, Mikhail Tal's amazing games. You can check out some free preview videos as well here. If you do expand all sections, you can see the preview links to get some free previews. So I hope you do check out this course index and the free previews. So I really had a thrilling time actually checking out Mikhail Tal's games. So yeah, the YouTube video here you saw was just a sample from this course. I hope you check it out. Okay, thanks so much. Oh, by the way, comments, questions, likes, shares, all appreciated. And if you did get to this part of the video, please do leave some sort of comment like Tal fan. Okay, thanks again.